Green light. Give it all you can. Green light. Go, go, go.
Right. I'm going to try this instead. I've switched aux settings. Let's see if this is any better. I've switched aux settings. Let's see if this is any better. There we go. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologise about that. I just had to switch over which channel my microphone was running through, but I am now on a channel that means that you guys can hear me, which is good, because I'm supposed to be doing commentary, and if you guys can't hear me, it makes that pretty difficult. But you guys should now be able to hear me. So if one of you guys that is in chat can just let me know if you can hear me. As Fernando goes up with a 37.0, puts himself second at the moment, but Junior in that number 10 Ferrari still really running the top of the board. A 5.22, sorry, that is a really brilliant time from him. As he now goes the long way around turn 2. Either that or he's taking... Oh, no, he's coming into the pit lane. Yes. The corners look so similar. Again, I don't know. I keep on getting confused with them. I promise you, I'm not stupid. I'm just not able to see properly. But yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, we are live, and we are ready to go. With just 30 seconds left of free practice, that's pretty much going to round it out. O'Sullivan moves himself back up to P2 after a little bit of difficulty earlier on in the session, not being able to find the time that he needed, a 36.9, so he's broken into that 36 ceiling, as well as now has Fernando with a 1:36.680. That is a very nice time from Fernando as well, in that number 23 McLaren, the green and black machine. I'm pretty sure that's green and black, by the way. I am a little bit colourblind, so if I've got that wrong, I do apologise. But here we go. We're going to be moving into qualifying any second now. Once all of these cars have finished their laps, I believe the last car we're going to be waiting on is the 400 machine, which is Silverio's. Silverio's. I don't really know. BMW. We have got 21 cars in total. A couple that didn't set a lap time during this session down at the bottom. Draeger, Kuhn, Bray, T-Boss, and Meechin? Yeah, we'll go for Meechin. None of those guys setting a lap this time out. Let's have a look. Have we got any drivers that are looking like they're likely to improve? I don't think so. I think the last car we're going to be waiting on to cross the line is Fernando. Does the 29 car come into the pits? No, the 29 car continues on its lap, and I can understand why. Hayden is improving. Is it enough to move him up a spot? It's enough to move him up a couple spots. And here we go. We are now into qualifying. This is where it matters now. Ollie, the Ollie! Yeah, hello. Hey Owen, how's it going? I'm assuming this is Owen. I don't really know. I'm assuming this is Owen's, like, I'm just assuming this is Owen's YouTube account that he comes and comes and says stuff on all the time, because I don't really know. Right, why are we stuck here? Come on. There we go. That's better. Hayden's here as well. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, Hayden has done some incredibly big brain things. Like, oh! As there was a knock there, right at the start. That's not ideal. Hayden, I don't know why, but the live stream hasn't gone, it's not notified it into the live streams channel, and I don't have permissions to post anything there. Otherwise, I would drop it in with the media ping, but I can't do that. So I'm not entirely sure what you want to do about that, because I know that you're currently trying to do qualifying. So. But yeah, here we go. At the head of the train is the number 51 Ferrari. He is looking to get his lap started very, very soon. Doesn't want to be giving a tow to these other drivers because we've got this incredibly long front straight here at Indianapolis. And it will give a massive advantage to anyone in the slipstream. It's a massive, when I say massive, I mean a massive advantage to anyone in the slipstream. So here we go, first qualifying laps of the day coming in. We've got 20 minutes of qualifying here, so people are going to have to be out relatively quickly as, oh, the 51 Ferrari just goes straight on. Who is it that is now at the front? It's the 888 machine of Bray. I don't believe he set a lap in the practice session, did he? So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. Junior was the fastest in the last session. He has only just come out on track. Has he? No, he hasn't. He's still in the pit lane, I believe. No, he's on an outlap. He is on an outlap. So let's have a little look then. We are looking at the first man to be setting a lap of this 20-minute qualifying session. Bray in the 888 McLaren. It's a very, very good looking car. It's that McLaren GT3. Rides low, probably well suited to a track like this because that straight line speed from the low profile of the car will help out a little bit. We'll wait and see what he can do though. So you can hear the beautiful roar of that McLaren engine. Yeah, there we go, that's what I'm talking about. Really, really coming through. He goes top of the timing boards for now, a 37.2. That's not a disrespectful time, you know. Piva in the number 55 Porsche goes second by only 7 hundredths of a second. And Potter now goes up to second, only 5 hundredths away in the 911 Vantage. That's yeah, that is a very, very close qualifying at the top so far. Obviously, we've still got 15.5 minutes left to go, so I'm not going to get too excited at the moment. Ollie, what do you think about Indianapolis? Now, personally, and I have a funny feeling I might get a little bit of hate for this, Indianapolis is not one of my favourite tracks. It is, it's a good track, you know, I don't doubt that, but for GT racing, it's not built for GT racing, it's built for IndyCar racing. It does IndyCar racing very well. It does not do GT racing very well at all. It's genuinely one of my least favourite tracks to drive in the game. Partially because of the curbs, which are just mega death, no matter what you do. Partially just the layout, it doesn't flow. There's no like rhythm to the layout. It's just like, yeah, we'll just put in, you know, a long corner there, and then there'll just be a 90-degree corner, and then, you know, it kind of feels like they've just done it on a bit of a whim rather than anything meaningful. Whilst I've been nattering away about my distaste for Indianapolis, O'Sullivan has put himself to the top of the boards, only for it to be taken away again by the 888 McLaren of Bray, who does a 36.3 That is the fastest lap time we've seen across free practice or qualifying so far. A very, very nice lap time from him. The number 974 BMW, who was right up there in the practice session as well, now puts himself second in the hands of Venner, just a shade under 5/10 away from the lap time of the 888 McLaren. Just up ahead, everyone I believe is out on track. No, we're missing Hayden is not out on track, Gariel is not out on track, and Meechan are not out on track, but everyone else is. As I say that, I believe that we've had a little bit of a change closer to the front. Junior, who was fastest in the practice session, is now down in 5th, 6.5 tenths away from that pole position, provisional pole position time that we got at the moment. However, he is improving 3.5 tenths, 4 tenths, probably by the line. Let's have a look. This is going to move him up a long way. Where does it put him? It puts him 3rd, as O'Sullivan has improved again to be just 800ths away from that pole position, provisional pole position time. At the moment, it is a front row lockout for the McLarens. We'll see how long that lasts, as there are drivers improving by a lot behind. As I say that, I just tried to click on to Potter. He is very, very much improving. Let's see what he can do as he comes to the line. A 6/10 improvement, it might be, through this final weird long chicane. And let's see how much more time that 911 machine can gain. That Vantage GT3. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at that rear diffuser as well. I love the look of the diffuser on this Aston Martin. One of my favourite looking GT3 cars. Let's have a look to the line. It's going to be big from Potter. It is big from Potter. He goes to the top of the timing sheets provisionally by just 7,000ths of a second. That is incredible. 12.5 minutes left of qualifying, and we're now starting to see people come in to take out some fuel, put on a fresh pair of tyres and get going again. So ladies and gentlemen, don't leave, do not drop out now, because this is where it is going to get very, very busy. As are we going to see O'Sullivan, currently 2/10 up, coming through this final section of the track? Are we going to see him improve to go up onto pole position? It doesn't look like it. I think his tyres have gone off. I think it's too late for him to make the call to pit, so he's going to have to finish this lap. But it's not going to be an improvement for him, unfortunately, not that time out. Bray is out on track, but he is well down. I have a funny feeling he might be coming to pit road this time. As O'Sullivan just 900ths off of the time. It is very, very close here between the top 3. Any of them could have it. Junior could have it. Jones could have it. Venner even could have it, I would expect. Any of this top 6 are really in the fight at the moment. And has there been contact there with Venner? And I don't know. Let's have a look. Has there been contact here? What's gone on? Because they've both just gone off at the same corner. No, they've both just wandered wide on their own, haven't they? Venner, and is that the number 81 machine of Drager? Yes, it is. That's a weird one. That is a weird one. You don't get many incidents like that, really. As here comes Bray. He is on brand new tyres. He is on probably lower fuel than he was just a couple of minutes ago. And he is really getting things moving now. Two-tenths up as it stands, dipping down, back up again. Really, really swinging around is that delta time at the moment. It would be enough for pole at the moment, but I say that Fernando is massively improving as well. Almost 4/10ths up is Fernando. That would be enough for him to go on to provisional pole as well in that number 23 McLaren. Let's have a look through this final section of the track. It gets bumpy, it gets rough through this final section of the track. Does he get it right? 2/10ths now is his advantage, although I think he may have got a better run out of those final 2 corners than he did previously. 2800ths is his advantage, 3/10ths. That puts him 3rd, splitting O'Sullivan and Bray. That is very, very interesting. That top 4 separated by less than 1/10 of a second. This could be a brilliant race in just a couple of minutes' time, as Bray is going faster. Bray is coming to the line. It's going to be provisional pole position for the 888 McLaren, but we've got to wait and see what everyone else has in store. Fernando and O'Sullivan both still in the pit lane. Potter now starting a flying lap. This could be big for him. He needs to find time. Bray in front is still finding time as well in that 888 machine. So the 911 of the Aston is going to have to push. Potter is going to have to push to find any time. He needs to find it if he wants to keep his qualifying hopes alive. At the moment, Silverio is looking like he's got a lot of pace in that car. Comes to the line, moves himself up to 11th. Fanara is coming through the first sector and has already found just over 2/10. So it'll be interesting to see how he continues on the rest of his lap. However, I am keeping my eye mostly on the front of this field where it is ever so close. The 974 BMW of Venner is struggling to find any more time out on track at the moment. That'll be disappointing for him, but not much he can do about it. Junior is finding time, however, through Sector 1, over a 10th up. He needs to find 2 and a bit tenths to get with that top 4 as it stands. We'll see how much more time he can find as he keeps going through. O'Sullivan is back out on track again as well on an outlap. And Fernando still sat in the pit lane at the moment. That is an interesting choice to make. And here we go. Junior has almost found that 2/10 of a second. He does find that 2/10 of a second and a little bit more to get with those front runners. So we'll see how it goes for him across the rest of this lap. Can he keep finding that time? It looks like he can. Half a second there. He's lost a lot of it on the exit though. That's the trade-off with these cars. You fire it in a little bit too deep and you gain a lot of time on entry and then lose a whole bundle of time on the exit. That gain now down to just a 10th of a second as Fanara pulls over after the line, having moved himself up into 11th ahead of Silverio. Here we go, coming to this final section of the track now is Junior. Is he going to be able to find himself any more time to get with those front runners? At the moment it looks like he might. It's just this final corner. Flat out now to the line. It doesn't look like he's going to have found enough time to be with them, but there's still 7 minutes of qualifying left, so don't count him out yet. He moves himself to just over half a second behind the P4 car of O'Sullivan, I believe. I don't know, there's a message about a 90... was it car 94? I don't know what's going on. O'Sullivan is up. He was up by a 10th. It's now dipped away from him a little bit. Just 200ths up instead of a 10th. Coming down that back straight, it's evening out again. He needs to find a little bit more time if he wants to get onto the front row here, or even if he wants to grab that provisional pole. So we'll wait and see what he can do as he continues going on this lap. Half a 10th. He's lost it again, has O'Sullivan. Just not quite able to string together the performance he needs out of this car. Yeah, it's not going to be enough coming to the line this time, I don't think, but there's still 6 minutes left of qualifying by the time he's crossed the line. So don't count him out of qualifying just yet. There is still time for him to find, I do not doubt. Here comes Fernando to start another flying lap as well. He's currently a 10th and a half off of that pole position pace, but it wouldn't surprise me if he finds more. Potter's gone off. Potter's gone off on his own. Resets to the pit lane. I expect he'll be back out in just a minute's time to try and set a better lap time towards the end of this session. And indeed he is looking further back down the order. We've got some big gains coming from the number 48 machine of Jones in the Bentley. Wow, that's brave. Here comes O'Sullivan again, a 10th up through those first few corners, dropping away a little bit, coming onto the back straight. Is he going to be able to keep it together unlike he did last time? We'll wait and see. Jones, oh, he was improving. He's now, clearly he lost that time and is now starting a lap, starting a fresh lap. Indeed he is. O'Sullivan still has that time in hand. It's now almost 2/10. This could be big for O'Sullivan. He just needs to hold this together through these final sectors. He's got half of Sector 2 and Sector 3 to go, about half the lap. And again, the McLaren man is finding time. That was verging on a track limits violation there on the inside. That was very close as you want to cut it, but he needs to find the time wherever he can. Here we go, coming towards that final chicane. Oh, it's very deep. Yeah, that lap time's invalidated. So it's going to be go again for the McLaren man of O'Sullivan. He's going to be disappointed with that. Venner is going to improve, but not by enough to catch anyone. Jones is now down. He wants to be up, but he's not anymore. Venner pulls over on that start-finish line, probably resetting to pits. Yes, indeed he is. 4 minutes left to go of qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. This is where it's going to get interesting. Remember, we've got an hour-long race coming up after this. It's going to be a long one. We've got one mandatory refuel stop. You don't have to do tyres, but at this track, it might be an idea to do so. O'Sullivan, here we go. He's 2.5 tenths up again. He's in a much better place than he was in Sector 1 last time out. Does he manage to keep it going? Three and a half tenths. Onto the back straight. He's losing a bit of time, but he's further up than he was previously. That's all that matters for him right now. A lot of drivers really steaming into that 90-degree left-hander and losing time on the exit. Only a tenth now for Fernando. Not for Fernando, sorry, O'Sullivan. Junior, however, is improving by quite a lot at the moment, as are Drager and Jones, currently in 10th and 8th respectively. Yeah, O'Sullivan, I believe, has evened out on his time. I don't think he's improving anymore. However, Junior is 3 tenths up. That could be massive. This could be a front row run from Junior. He's just got the final 3 corners to go. Does he get them right? That looks very neat on the brakes. 4 tenths now. 3 tenths again. Just the final corners to go. 2.7 would be enough. He needs to find a little bit more. Does he have the run to the line? I don't think he quite does. It's going to be the front row for Junior, I believe. Indeed it is. Just 300ths off of the pace. Fernando has had an off, has he? Yes, he's on the... Where is he? Oh, he's on the inside there. That's weird. So Fernando resets the track, but Junior has put himself onto the front row rather emphatically there. Just 300ths off the back of Bray. Here comes O'Sullivan again. He's improving again. Yeah, not losing as much time out of there that time round and gaining more time through the next section. So here we go. This could be big. Oh, who's just put themselves up there? Jones has just put himself up to 4th. Just over a tenth off of that pole position time at the moment from Bray in the 888 McLaren machine. He's still in the pit lane, so I think he thinks that this is sealed up. I mean, that's certainly a risk to take, but at the moment O'Sullivan's just not able to string the lap together. He's improving a lot, but he just can't make it consistent enough to get up onto that front row. That must be really, really frustrating for him at the moment, but nothing he can do. Someone who's majorly improving at the moment is Meechan in Meekan. It might be Meekan, I think it probably is Meekan. In that number 74 Porsche. However, I am just going to keep my eyes on my timing screen up at the front, just in case anyone starts doing crazy stuff with their lap times up at the top of the leaderboard as well. But for now, let's just see what Meekan can do. At the moment, 5.3 seconds down, but is gaining literally seconds everywhere. It's like this is a completely different car to Meekan's first qualifying lap. So we'll wait and see. I think... Are we going to see any other changes? I don't think we are. I don't think Meekan is actually going to move up at all. However, a man that does have an opportunity to do so is Donkervolk here. Currently almost 5 tenths up, coming to those final few corners. And so that is the end of qualifying. Anyone who hasn't already crossed the line is not going to get to do another lap. And Donkervolk is still 5 tenths up at the moment. This would put him just outside that top 10. 6 tenths I expect it will be at the line, but I don't think that'll be enough. Puts him 11th for now. That is not bad. That is not bad. Jones and Potter not looking like they're able to find anything on these final laps to move themselves up either. Looking slightly further down the order, Fanara in P12 is having a good run here, just over a tenth of a second up. It wouldn't change anything for him, but knowing that you've got that little bit extra pace is always quite nice. Jones is up and then down again, and then up again, possibly through this next section. Yes, up again. How was that not a track limits invalidation? That is mental. You can really cut the inside there. That is crazy. I'm assuming Potter has invalidated his time. Indeed he has. He comes into the pit lane. Jones is going to keep going, but he's almost 2/10 down. Storms through that final apex. So I doubt he's going to have found much. Yeah, he comes into the pit lane as well. So I believe that is going to be the end of qualifying for now. Parks is going to finish his lap, even though he hasn't improved. So that means that, ladies and gentlemen, pole position is going to go to Bray in the 888 McLaren. A brilliant run for him, I've got to admit. It was, I mean, it was pretty secure. He kind of just sat in the, he sat in the pit lane for the majority of that qualifying session, but, you know, fair enough. He had the time to. So overall, your qualifying order is the 888 McLaren on pole with a 136.2. Then Junior in the number 10 Ferrari, Potter in the 911 Aston Martin rounds out the top three, with Jones just behind in the Bentley, the number 48 machine, a very good qualifying from him. Fernando showing some pace here around Indianapolis as well, the man who finished P3 in Spain on Friday night, and now in the number 23 McLaren goes P5 here in Indianapolis. Then we've got O'Sullivan, Murray, Peaver, Drager, Venner to round out the top 10. Then just outside the top 10 is that number 51 Ferrari of Donkervolk, followed by the 20 Ferrari of Fanara. Then we've got three BMWs in a row, the 35, the 400 and the 98, driven by Parks, Silverio and Garrel respectively. Then we've got the number 3 Ferrari of Tippy Boss. Hayden in the 29 BMW lines up 17th. I'm sure he'll have some pace in the race to show off better than that qualifying position would necessarily say. Then we've got Brucken in the 66 Ferrari lining up in P18 with Kuhn, Meekin and Hurst rounding out the grid. The 570 AMG possibly joining late, or didn't set a lap time. I'm not entirely sure. But here we go. We've got a minute until the official start of the race. Ladies and gentlemen, here at Indianapolis, it's going to be an hour-long race. We have got 60 minutes of action, racing action, coming up here from Indianapolis. I don't know who to predict. I think it's going to be interesting. We've got a mandatory fuel stop. You don't have to do tyres, but it might be wise to. This Indianapolis track does eat them up for sure. And ladies and gentlemen, let's keep these likes on the stream rolling if we can. Push us up to the top of the YouTube suggested would be brilliant. So like the stream if you're enjoying everything so far. We're about to get into the racing. We've got a full formation lap first before we get going with a rolling start here at Indy. It's going to be a big one. And of course, before we get going, I'm going to mention the challenge that me and my fellow commentator Mac have set ourselves for the end of the year. If we can hit 2,000 subscribers on this main TOGA channel, we are going to do a solo 6-hour race at a track chosen by the community. If we get to 2,500 subscribers, we are going to do a solo 6-hour race at a track chosen by the community in the Jaguar GT3, possibly the worst car that has ever existed in ACC. So that's what we're going to do. Don't ask me why. I don't think it's a great idea, but I got roped into it. I can't say that. I volunteered myself for it. But here we are. So ladies and gentlemen, keep those likes rolling, and if you haven't already, please do consider hitting that subscribe button if you want to see me and Mac suffer in the Jaguar for 6 whole hours. Here we go, the start of the full formation lap. It's going to be a long race here. We've got 60 minutes of racing to go once they cross the line. This formation lap obviously does not count. And Fernando and Jones, interesting there. I think possibly just a little bit of ghosting through each other there. Welcome along everyone, 14 people now watching. Thank you all for being here on this Sunday evening, joining me. My name is Ollie, I'm new to the TOGA streaming community. I'm not new to the community overall. I have been here for 6 or 7 months, but just recently have gone back into commentating, and these guys were in need of a helping hand, so I decided to come along and help out where I could. Looking up the grid, it is the 888 McLaren with that brilliant qualifying session, finishing only 300ths in front of Junior. In fact, the top 5 were separated by only just over a tenth and a half. So it is going to be a mental race here. Lots of people on very similar pace to each other. So make sure to keep your eyes on the stream. It's going to be mental. As you can see, we've got the mandatory pit stop in that orange box next to the car numbers on my screen, and of course what you can see on your screen as well. So let's get ready to go racing here in Indianapolis. We are coming through towards the final sector now. Little bit of weird stuff going on here. I think everyone is trying to warm up their tyres, but Bray is going very slowly through this final sector. Here we go. It's not going to be long before we have to get into our 2x2 procedure. Here we go. We are now in the 2x2 procedure. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of harsh accelerating and then braking as people try and warm up their tyres to get ready to go for the start here in Indianapolis. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be mental down into turn 1, that 90-degree right-hander. I expect to see a little bit of chaos, but we will wait and see. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 60 minutes of racing action at Indianapolis coming up in just a few short seconds. We're coming to the line now. When does Bray go? When do we see that green light on the limit at 70? And there it is. Drive through for the number 81 machine. He's a little bit further down the order, so that's not going to matter. But Bray has got a brilliant start. I tell you who has also got a brilliant start is Jones in that Bentley. Is he going to get past up into P2? Indeed, I think he might. Are we going to have any collisions further down the order? I think people on the whole have managed to get through relatively cleanly. There's a little bump there with the Rover BMW. But everyone, I think, has managed to get through relatively cleanly. Indeed, they have. Let's move back up and look at what's going on at the top here as Jones manages to solidify that gap on Junior. He stays ahead. Potter and O'Sullivan have had a little bit of a fight, and Fernando has moved down to P7 after starting originally in P5. That's disappointing for him, but not much he can do about it. Have we had a little bit of contact back here with Fanara and Parks, both of them being overtaken by the 98 Rover BMW of Gararil? But I think that has evened out now. Further down the order, Hayden has fallen down by a couple of positions here, being overtaken by Kuhn and by Meekan. Not the start that Hayden will have wanted, but not much he can do. Oh, and there's definitely... Oh, there's been massive chaos. Huge crash coming off the back straight. That has been massive. Let's have a little bit of a rewind here, see what's happened. Coming onto the back straight, everything looks relatively chilled out. But it suddenly all goes wrong at some point. What happens? I'm trying to see what camera is going to show it best. And, oh! The 974 BMW sends it in way hard, and so does that white Ferrari. I'm not sure who that was. And then it all just goes wrong. Everyone piling into each other. O'Sullivan has fallen down the order as well, but I've got to wait until we go back to... the live timing to see what's happened here. I'm not sure what has happened there. But lots going on at the moment. Drager's into the pit lane. Is he taking his stop early? That would be a weird decision to make. And Dunkervolk and Kuhn are both going very slowly down that front straight. What's going on here? If those guys had some side-by-side contact, maybe spun around a little bit, we will wait and see. And Garrel has had an incredible start up to P5. Meekan's taking the fastest opening lap of 4 minute 33.2. He has moved up already from second to last. Now, Piva and Drager possibly getting damage fixed. Piva definitely is getting damage fixed. Let's have a look here. Fight going on here. Fanara and Fernando. The 23 McLaren and the 20 Ferrari, who I believe that was an overtake on Fernando. Indeed it was. Jones at the moment at the front managing to stick with Bray, but we'll see how much longer that lasts for, because Bray is very quick around here at the moment. There is one car that had a drive-through. I can't remember who it was. Hurst now spun around the 570 BMW. BMW Mercedes, obviously. Just lost it on his own. How unfortunate for him. But he's lost a whole load of positions down into 19th now, having started last. That 570 AMG with a couple of problems there. That's really, really gutting for him. Not the race he will have wanted to start with. As Kuhn gets past O'Sullivan, that McLaren must have some heavy damage at the moment, because O'Sullivan was one of the faster drivers in the practice session. Here we go, Fanara now eyeing up that 98 Rover BMW in front of him, looking possibly for a move down towards turn 1. He's not going to be close enough this time out. 3/10 is the gap there, but it's not going to be enough for Fanara at this point, as Fernando really closes in under braking. Loses out a little bit though through the rest of that section. Not ideal for him. And here we go, Fanara right on the tail of that 98 BMW now. Garrel is going to have to start getting on the defensive. Look for those moves as Fernando almost goes for a move, as both the 15-second penalty for car number 21. That would have been done by the in-game stewards. I'm not sure what that is for. Let's have a look at race control. We have got... I'm going to assume that's for the contact with car number 23 just after the start of the race. I think that might be what happened down at turn 1. Or turn 2 even? Yeah, I think it was turn 2, wasn't it? As you can see, all of the foam boarding at turn 1 has already been destroyed. Not ideal, not necessarily surprising though. Potter with the fastest lap at the moment in that 911 Aston Martin, but he is falling back a little bit at the start of this lap to the guys who are in front of him. As I say that, Bray takes the fastest lap with a 36.592 in that 888 McLaren. Just about a tenth slower was Jones on that last lap, and Junior was a little bit faster than Jones, so this could be interesting. As Mari is going to get past Kuhn, I would expect the 21 overtaking the 555 Ferrari into turn 1. Indeed he does. Yeah, that is that move done. O'Sullivan looking to get past Hayden, coming through that first sector as well into turn 4, gets that move done. Hayden, the number 29 BMW, just having to kind of accept that, move out of the way a little bit there. Tippy Boss is right on the back of the 74 machine of Meek, and we'll wait and see if he can do anything coming towards the end of this middle sector. I don't think he will be able to, though. It doesn't look like it at the moment. Closes up on the brakes, but that gap widens back out on acceleration, as it normally does in these cars. Remember, we do have a mandatory pit stop for fuel in this race. So these guys, it'll be interesting to see who's put in a lot of fuel to go later, and who has put in maybe less fuel and try and be faster at the start. It'll be interesting to see what strategies different people are working with. And down at the bottom of the field is already pretty spread out, but in this top lot it is very, very close overall. Fanara still on the back of Garrel, nothing going there at the moment. Potter falling away from the guys in front by about a second a lap at the moment. The Aston Martin driver just not quite up to pace. Maybe he's got a little bit more fuel in the car compared to those guys in front who have gone low fuel early for the pace. Fanara still looking for a way past. Just Tippy Boss and Brucken have come together. Let's head back and have a look at what's gone on here. Oh wow, that was a really, really... Oh, Tippy Boss has just gone steaming in. Is it Tippy Boss in the 555? No, that's not the 555, is it? I'm trying to work out who on earth it was. Was it Brucken? Yes, it was. Brucken has gone steaming in on Tippy Boss and has taken him out. That's very unfortunate for him, as Parks now gets past Brucken as well, who by the looks of things probably has some relatively heavy front end damage. Indeed does. Looking further up the field, Jones has now fallen out of that seconds gap to Bray, who is just running incredibly quickly at the moment. A 1:36.6 for Jones last lap. That was his best lap so far, but at the moment not able to do anything better than that. And Junior now the fastest man on track at 36.5. That slipstream probably really helping out. He sat perfectly in the slipstream pocket from the car in front, so he's able to make some really nice moves as he keeps it going throughout the first 10 minutes of this race. With 10 minutes gone, well, not yet, 9.5, 8.5 minutes gone. There has been plenty of action, as you've seen. It's been pretty mental by all accounts. Tippy Boss now with Tippy Boss now with Parks behind him in the 35 BMW. We'll wait and see if there's anything going here. At the moment it doesn't look like there is. Indeed there is. Maybe does Parks go up the inside? Yes he does. He gets it all wrong under braking. And a 15-second penalty for car number 66. That's Brooken. That must be for that collision. It might be for the contact with car number 555. Which happened very shortly into the race, rather than being for the contact with the number 3 car. So car 21 picked up a 15-second penalty for causing a collision with car number 55, as both of those cars going off track in the background. And car 66 has picked up that penalty. Yeah, so Brooken picks up a 15-second penalty for that collision with Tippy Boss, as Jones has now set the fastest lap time with a 1:36.592. No, that's his most recent lap time. It was a 1:36.1. That takes him right back into the slipstream of Bray in front in the 888 McLaren. So we'll keep an eye on that. We're also going to keep an eye on Fanara. Are we going to see a move here from Fanara on Silverio for P7? I don't know if we are. The braking, no, he doesn't quite have the braking to get it done, but has the BMW gone too deep and left the door open for Fanara, possibly on the inside for turn 3? Indeed he has. Fanara gets that move done very early through turn 3 and now turn 4. That was very nicely done from Fanara in the number 20 Ferrari to move up. 2 5-second penalties for car number 23. I'm not entirely sure what those will be for. I'm sure I'll find out with the Discord open. I'm going to find out in just a second's time. And Fernando has 10 seconds of penalties. When did that happen? Are those for track limits, possibly? I didn't see a notification popping up saying he'd been given 10 seconds of penalties. So it must be for something from in-game, because he hasn't been involved in any contact so far as that number. Oh no, he's just been given 2 5-second penalties. I'm sure we're about to find out what those are for. Because I'm not too confident at the moment. I can't see anything popping up on my race control. Here we go at the front. Is Jones going to get the move done on Bray? The switchback. 10-second penalty to car 23 for causing a collision with car number 14. We'll have a little watch of a replay of that collision in a second once Bray has got this move done. Is there going to be a move here for Jones? I don't think there is. Looking further down the order is Fernando with that 10-second penalty. Now going to get on the charge on the number 98 BMW of Garrel. I don't know if he is. I think he's struggling a little bit as well. Fernando not quite with the pace to get past the car in front of him. Tippy Boss now on the back of Kuhn. Are we going to see a move here from Tippy Boss up the inside? There's, oh yeah, he was very careful there. After what happened with Brooken earlier, I don't think he wanted to come off worse in that accident, which is totally fair enough. Totally sensible driving from him in that situation. So now we've got a chance. I'm going to go back and have a look at this contact which caused the penalty for the number 23 car. Let's have a look. If I was on the right car, we might have seen it. Let me, the 23 on the number 14 car. Here we go. Coming down towards the chicane. Oh yeah, just deep from Fernando. And that, I think, is probably how... Oof! Yeah, a little bit more contact there as well. But, yeah, penalised for that move. Also penalised was car number 21 for a collision with car number 55. Let's make sure nothing interesting is going to happen on track in the next 30 seconds or so. Nope, doesn't look like it. Let's have a look. Car 21 is still in the race. It's Murray who received that 15-second penalty for a collision with car number 55. Which is... that's interesting. I can't see any collision data for car 21 with car number 55. I don't have a contact file for that. Oh, as something has happened, there has been a contact sparked on the database with car 555 and car 35. Contact again. Yeah, and the 555 machine is lost out. It was car 35 that I think the contact was with both times. Yeah, it was, and Kuhn has lost out because of that, now 5 seconds back. Looking back up further to the front of the field, O'Sullivan looking to get a move done possibly on the 974 machine into this chicane. Oh, that is late on the brakes. Does he manage to get it properly stopped? Indeed he does. That was a proper lunge from O'Sullivan. He decided he was going to go for that and nothing was going to stop him. That was a really, really solid move from him. Really late on the brakes. Daniel Ricciardo-esque late on the brakes. That was very impressive. As here we go. Are we going to see a move from Fernando this time on Garrel, the number 98 BMW? I don't think we are. Not this time out. No, Fernando's going to stay behind for now. A fastest lap last time out for Bray, 1:36.092. Jones losing a lot more time that lap than he has previously. But that is the swings and roundabouts of GT racing, especially in that boat of a Bentley. I'm quite impressed that he's that far up the grid. That's real skill, because that Bentley is not a fun one to drive. I can tell you that firsthand. Anyway, Tippy Boss thinking about getting past Brooken. This is the guy that he had contact with earlier on, the 66 car. As Fanara now falls down the order, was there contact there? I think there possibly was, because he has just lost 2 positions in, well, pretty much as many seconds. Here we go. Mari is looking for a move past Hayden. The number 21 Ferrari looking to get past the 29 BMW. No, he backs out of it. By the looks of things. Doesn't end up going for that move in the end. He's just going to stick behind for now. Maybe look for something a little bit later on. Junior has gotten back into this top 3 fight as well. The number 10 Ferrari moving up now. Still in P3, but he's managed to get back within touching distance of this leading battle, which means that he can pick up any scraps that come his way. As Tippy Boss has moved down, we've got a 5-second penalty for car number 35. 2 5-second penalties for car number 35, so it's a 10-second penalty total. I expect that'll be for the contact with the number 555 car. As that's Boss getting back past Parks. Is it? Yes, it is. And lots of battles going on now. Fernando still looking to get past his number 98 Rover BMW, but as of yet hasn't managed to do so. Parks just a 10th off of Tippy Boss. Making that move into turn 1. Is Parks going to get it done? Around the outside for turn 2, it's the better line, and indeed he does get that move done before turn 3. Sweet falls down, Hayden falling down behind, Murray in front, the number 21 Ferrari just inching ahead as Silverio and Sullivan are fighting out on track. O'Sullivan is going to keep that position for now, the 14 McLaren moving further up the order again as well. He's now looking to close down on Fernando in front. That gap is 5 seconds. It's going to take a lot of doing to shut that down. But if there's a guy that I think can do it based on his pace so far, it would probably be O'Sullivan. So let's see what he can do across the rest of this race. Murray now looking to put pressure on Meekin. As Tippy Boss and Parks have had a collision. Let's rewind this. Let's see what's happened. Has Tippy Boss just fired it in? What has happened here? Tippy Boss has just fired it in. Wow. That was shocking from Tippy Boss. Yeah, car 35 picking up a 10-second penalty for a collision caused. As Sweet gets past Murray, but that's because Murray is coming to the pit lane. This is relatively early for a pit stop. And I reckon we are going to see a penalty coming Tippy Boss's way. That was not the kind of move that I would expect from him, having watched him race before. As now Parks is around again. What has happened to him this time? That looks like it's come from a long way back. Let's have a look what's happened to Parks here as he just wandered. Oh, he's trying to go onto pit road. He's trying to go onto into the pits and has just spun it round instead. And now he's going to be completely stuck. I mean, he's just going to have to keep going. He's just going to... Surely he's just kept going. He can't have turned it around and come back into the pit lane. Who was it that I was looking at? Parks. Where is he? Where's he gone? Surely he's not left because of that. But I can't see him at all. No, he's disappeared. Parks has completely disappeared on my timing board. Yeah, he disconnected because of that. Really? Come on, man. There's no way you've just disconnected because you spun coming to pit lane. Like, come on, have a little bit more resilience than that, dude. As Fernando is coming to the pit lane as well, the number 23 McLaren, possibly looking for an undercut on the guys in front. But he is now going to have to really top up with fuel. It's going to be interesting to see who fueled for a long run here. Because I think it could make a big difference coming towards the end of the race to see who did that long fuel and who didn't. Looking further down the order, yeah, Fernando still in the pit lane. Vener, I don't know if it's Venner or Vina. I'm going to go with, actually, yeah, Vina feels right. Vina moving past Fanara for that P8 spot at the moment, and this battle at the front is still really hot. These guys still only separated by about 1.2 seconds between the lot of them. So it's going to be a very, very interesting race to the end. A 5-second penalty for car number 3. I expect that's going to be a double 5-second penalty for car number 3. Because that was a big old lunge. Is it just going to be a 5-second penalty for that? Really? That is... that's interesting. For sure. I would say relatively safely that that's a 10-second penalty, but there's only been 5 seconds allocated to him. So that is an interesting choice to make. Jones now has fallen away from Bray in front. He really needs to get back into that. Yeah, car 3 only picks up a 5-second penalty for the collision with car number 35. That is a very, very weird move to make. I would suggest that was probably worse than some of the stuff they've given a 10-second penalty for so far. Or at least equal with some of the stuff they've given a 10-second penalty for so far. And yeah, Jones just continuing to fall away at the moment from that leading car, the 888 McLaren. He's struggling to keep it where he wants it right now. Just not exactly got the pace at the moment has Jones. He's falling back at the moment. Junior is catching him. And this could be a big fight coming up for P2 overall. So it is going to be interesting to see what happens here now as Jones continues to fall away from the leading pack. I say leading pack, there's only the one of them, it's just Bray, but he's doing incredibly, incredibly well. Junior still in that 4/10 pocket at the moment. As Drager gets past Tippy Boss, Hurst is looking to get past Kuhn, I believe, in that 555 McLaren, who does have... No, he doesn't have any penalties, but Brucken in front really does. And Brucken is spun round. I think that was possibly on his own. He rejoins right on the racing line. That wasn't great from him. Let's have a look at what's happened here. Is it just on his own? Yeah, wanders wide, catches the grass, and round goes the Ferrari. Could have fixed that probably by getting off the throttle, but, you know, I'm not going to be... I'm not going to try and backseat for a guy who's racing in a series that I don't take part in. But yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the stream so far, make sure to hit that like button and maybe consider subscribing as well. It's my first time doing a full length stream here at TOGA. Really enjoying the racing so far as Tippy Boss comes into the pit lane. Brucken is just behind Hurst now. Are we going to see a move there? Oh, that's a massive punt. I'm not sure who that was from. It was from the 555. He's not even on the same lap. Peever's way behind. Peever's a lap behind them, I believe. I don't think Peever's on the same lap at all. He's not. Peever's not on the same lap, and he's just punted the 570 Mercedes. That is going to be a penalty for sure coming his way. That was some shocking driving. Really, really shocking. Looking further up the order, Sweet is now right on the back of Meekin. Is Hayden going to be able to get a move done? Coming towards this final long chicane. Nothing going under the brakes. Hayden might be able to set it up to get a better run out of this final section though. Does he keep it flat through that final corner? Not quite. I don't think the Ferrari in front did either though. That gap is getting smaller for Hayden now. Just outside the top 10 at the moment. Can he get in to that top 10? 35 minutes remaining. 25 minutes gone. And we've still got a whole host of people who haven't served their mandatory pit stop. Tippy Boss, I expect, is... well, he's coming to the exit of pit road, I think. I don't think he's still... I think he's done his pit stop, has he? Or is he one of the later boxes? No, he's done his pit stop. He's now returning to the surface. Here comes O'Sullivan, looking to get past the 98 Rover machine of Garrel, that BMW M4. 15-second penalty comes for car number 55. That doesn't surprise me at all. I called that one already. That was a massive incident there. As Fanara... Oh, Fanara goes way off the track. What's happened there? That's been massive for Fanara. Has he been hit? Or has he just gone off on his own? Oh, he just got the sausage curbing on the inside of the previous corner. Has gone off on his own. That is not what he would have wanted at all. As more importantly, Junior making the move past Jones. We just spotted it there on the replay. So the number 10 Ferrari now moves up to P2 overall. Jones is going to continue to fight that, I'm sure, as O'Sullivan comes into the pit lane. So he's now going to lose out on some track position compared to other drivers. Sweet is still following Meekin, but at the moment there is not much going. Less of a lift this time from Hayden. I'm sure that's because he's listening to me and heard me bullying him for the fact that he lifted loads last time. Into the top 10 goes Hayden, but that is because of the two cars in front of him that have pitted. However, he has got some cars in front with penalties, I believe. Does he? No, maybe not. I don't think anyone in this in the top 10 has a penalty now. No, yeah, the nearest penalty for him is P14, the 15 seconds that Brucken has. Sweet, still looking for this move. Still searching for the overtake. Thank you all for all the likes. We're up to 10, that's brilliant. Here we go. Oh, finally, the chat is back. I can finally see all of your messages. Thank you everyone for being here tonight. My messages haven't been loading in the YouTube chat, but hello to everyone who's here. Because my messages haven't been loading, I also haven't seen that you guys have been liking the stream. Thank you so much for doing that. Welcome along. We have got, oh, stop-go penalty for the number 20 car. That's for Fanara speeding in the pit lane, and he was fighting in that top 10. That's going to be very disappointing for him. As oh, very last-minute call there from Megan to come into the pits. So Junior now with clear track behind him. Garrel now with clear track ahead of him. It's going to be interesting to see how it continues here. Race control is saying that the last contact on track was with the was that collision with the number 570 car and the number 55 car. In fact, let's go back and have a little bit of a watch of the replay of that, because it was rather dramatic. We're going to hop on board with the number 55 car quickly so that we can see it. Hop into race control and let's have a look at this replay. Look at this from the number 55 Porsche. Brakes way too late and rear ends that number 570 AMG. Absolutely nothing that that the 570 could do there. Just had to take the hit. He is now down in last, is Hurst, unfortunately, having had to pit for those repairs. As Bray pits, here we go. So Bray is now serving his mandatory pit stop. A lot of the top 10 are still to do so, I think. I think Jones is the first that has served his penalty. He is a little bit of a way back from these guys at the front. It's going to be interesting to see where Bray comes out. The man that we're looking for to come out is Jones. Here we go. Currently in P8. It's going to be interesting to see where Bray comes out in comparison to Jones. Jones came out slightly, Jones boxed earlier, but it means that he is coming back in. He's coming back out and might have been slightly slower across the end of his stint. Let's have a look. Bray is coming back out on track. Where is Jones? Still coming through that final sector, but the 888 McLaren has got a long way to go. If the gap is anything less than a couple of seconds, then he's doing well. I don't think it's going to be, though. He comes around that final corner. Bray is about to get off the limiter. Still storming down is Jones. I think the gap's going to be... yeah, it's going to be a good couple of seconds, I think. There's a car in between them as well. The number 3 car, I believe that is, of Tippy Boss. But he'll get out of the way if Jones is behind him, I would expect. That gap is 6.7 seconds. So let's see what Junior can do here. He's now in the pit lane. And the number 20 has its stop-go penalty cleared. Still to pit in this top lot. Junior. No, Junior's in the pit lane now. Garrel, Sweet and Drager are all still yet to pit. Garrel comes in now. I expect we're getting towards the end of the pit window, which is when they are able to take their break. Able to take their pit stops even. So it'll be interesting to see. These last few drivers are going to have to start coming in now. They don't have much other choice. So here we go. Off the jacks is Junior. Where is the 888 machine? The 888 machine is closer than the number 48 machine was. So the number 10 is going to be... weaving down pit lane, apparently. But here we go. The 888 machine of Bray is coming down the start-finish straight now. I think he's going to retain the lead. He's definitely going to retain the lead. That number 10 car is not anywhere near the pit limiter line yet, and there goes the 888 machine there. And Hayden is now in the lead of the race. This is insanely pog. Everyone stop the count, stop the count. Red flag for weather, I don't know. Hayden wins. That's the end. Stop the clock. Hayden dub. Hayden dub. And that's interesting. Jones has actually come out ahead of Junior, having boxed a couple of laps earlier. Jones comes back out ahead of Junior. That's going to have really annoyed Junior. He was ahead before... Stop the count. Yeah, stop the count. He was ahead before those pit stops happened. And Junior has now fallen back behind as Potter gets past Brooken, who does have that 15-second penalty to contend with before the end of this race. Bray might get held up by Drager here. Does the 81 Lamborghini let him past, or does the 81 Lamborghini have to box at the end of this lap? It is a possibility that he does. So let's have a little look. Junior falling out of that second gap. He is going to have cold tyres though, so there's so less pace can be explained by that at the moment. Bray now just 8/10 off the back of Drager. Does Drager box his lap? He does. That gives Bray all of that free air to work with. Jones has closed up a little bit on this lap, just 5.8 seconds down the gap. We need just stop oil to invade the track. Yeah, absolutely. It is all going on now. Drager comes into the pit lane. Hayden still hasn't boxed, and it is a long stop here because of the length of this pit lane. It's pretty much a whole lap in terms of the time you spend in the pit lane. It is mental. It's literally insane how long you spend in the pit lane around here. Because you spend like 1.5 kilometers on the pit limiter. It's so crazy. But yeah, here we go. Coming into the last 25 minutes of this race, it is still tight at the top. Just over 7 seconds separating the top 3, apart from Hayden, but that's because he still needs to box. Oh, sorry guys, I'm yawning so much. I've had a really busy couple of days. Oh, man, yeah, I need like a Red Bull or something, but... Here we go. Looking down the order, Brooken's in the pits. He's getting overtaken by a lot of people. So's Drager in the pits as well. Currently only 19 drivers left after the 94 BMW left. Was it the 74 BMW? I can't remember. He spun on his own and decided that he'd had enough. But welcome along everyone who's here. If you are enjoying the stream so far, please don't hesitate to leave a like. And maybe subscribe. As I've already mentioned, me and my fellow commentator Mac are going to do a solo 6-hour race if we hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're only now 260 subscribers away from that happening. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. You can also now become an official member of the TOGA channel, which comes with its own added benefits. You get access to the video replays of these streams earlier. You get access to videos that are uploaded on this channel 24 hours before they are uploaded live to the public. And it also comes with some cool emote options, as far as I'm aware, for the chat. So if you'd like to become a member and support this amazing community, please consider doing that. If you don't have the means to be able to become a member, then please do make sure that you're subscribed to come here for some brilliant racing content. We've got so many leagues going on every single week at the moment that it's pretty much non-stop at the moment. Every single night of the week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday are taken up by racing pretty much every single week. Yeah, smash that like button guys, keep it moving with those likes, keep them coming. We've got 23 minutes to go in this Indianapolis race. Things are getting a little bit spaced out, but there's still plenty of fighting going on track. As we know, these drivers aren't immune to making little mistakes, so it's not unlikely that we're going to see some more fighting up and down the grid as we keep moving into the last few minutes of this race. Are we going to see the number 10 Ferrari of Junior getting back past Jones again? At the moment it doesn't look like it, but that could just be a difference in where their tyres are at the moment. Jones was definitely slower towards the end of his first stint, so we'll see if Junior can manage to reel that pace back in towards the end of this. That gap still growing between Jones and Bray by 7/10 that last lap. I mean, that is a large amount for sure. And interestingly, Hayden still to box. Surely there's more coming from Hayden. He's got to box sometime soon. I think the pit timer runs out in about 2 minutes time, so he's going to have to come in this lap, I would expect. because there's only there's a fixed pit window, and I can't remember what it is. Let me try and find it out. I think it's probably in the race rules. No pit window, no pit window, so he can run it as late as he likes. Because at the moment it is definitely working for him. He can just keep on running these laps at this pace, keep it moving, and just box, box like on the penultimate lap, and just for lulz. Why not? He could realistically do that if he wanted to. I doubt he will, because he's sensible enough to know that that's not the fastest strategy. Oh, a little bit of a drop in quality there. That might just be because I've moved on to 4G though, so that might just be me. I'm watching the stream on my phone at the same time because I'm trying to keep up with YouTube chat. Yeah, pull an L1 move, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, do 58 laps on the hard tyres and then just turbo box for softs. And this fight for P2 is still on. It's P2 overall because obviously Hayden still has to box. I know that they're not P2 on track, but realistically they are. Between the number 48 Bentley and the number 10 Ferrari, saying battle for P2 and then saying Bentley really confuses my brain, because it shouldn't be this fast. But apparently it is, or at least Jones can make it this fast. I don't know what he's doing with that car, but it is brilliant. He is, he's really shuffling along, keeping that thing moving. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are as impressed with the pace that Jones is showing as I am, make sure to smash that like button, because it is mental. Hayden is pitting, is the report. Indeed he is. Hayden into the pit lane. This is going to be interesting to see where he comes out. So I expect he's going to come out around... He's still got to do his whole pit stop though, so I reckon he's probably going to come out around... Yeah, around these P10, P11, I would expect, possibly down behind the P12 car. I don't know, we'll wait and see. We'll stay on board with, we'll keep watching Hayden and just see what happens here. Wang! Hey Hayden, how's it going? How's it going, mate? Sat there relaxed, taking a breather. You ate the like button. Don't do that, man. I need my likes. Here we go. Hayden is now on the move again. Oh, it's going to be... No, yeah, it is. He's actually going to be possibly... Right. Chat, keep calm. Keep calm. But Hayden might come out in P10 here. He might. I don't know if he will. Mary's coming down. Now, Hayden's got a little while left to go before he gets to the pit limiter line. It's the one after this. He's going to come out in P11, but he's going to be able to hunt down Murray. Go, Hayden. Godspeed. Be quick, Hayden. That gap is going to be about 4 seconds by the looks of things. Indeed it is. Oh, and Junior is close right up on Jones. I've missed all of this whilst I've been waffling about Hayden and stuff. But here we go. Junior pulling right up onto the back of that number 48 car now. This is the real fight for P2. 18 minutes left to go of this race. And last lap, Junior was over a second. No, not over a second. Just under a second faster. Last time out than Jones was in that Bentley. And I don't think that Jones is improving this lap. Indeed, he's not. So this could be big. This could be big. With 17.5 minutes left to go, the number 10 Ferrari has closed right up onto the back of that number 48 Bentley. That fight for P2 is very much alive and kicking. 0.6 is the gap now. It's going to be interesting to see how this progresses. That gap still sitting at about 7/10 of a second, 6-7 tenths of a second. Fanara now closing in on Tippy Boss. Are we going to see a move coming here from Fanara in the number 20 Ferrari? Obviously Fanara was fighting in that top 10 as well, but got hit with a 20-second stop-go penalty for running over the pit speed limit. Unfortunate for him. The gap now 3/10 between Junior and Jones. Here we go. 16 minutes left to go. This battle is going to rage on for a while. I would expect last time out, Jones just 2/10 slower than Junior. The pace is very, very close between the two of them. So we will see what happens here as Meekin gets passed by Drager for P12. Drager now moves up into Hayden, falling back from Murray, but I expect that's because his tyres aren't quite in that window yet. We'll wait and see whether the number 21 Ferrari has the legs. Hayden really needs to start getting a shuffle on if he wants to catch up. 5.2 seconds, 5.3 seconds is the gap. There's only 15.5 minutes left of this race if he wants to make something happen. Junior needs to think about making something happen as well. That gap is 0.4 of a second, 0.3 of a second, 0.2 of a second. Coming down the main straight, could this be it this time for Junior? Here we go down towards turn 1. Could this be the move for P2 overall? The Bentley looking pretty fast in a straight line. Junior just not feeling the benefit of that drag slipstream enough, I don't think. Shows himself in the mirror. Jones keeps a cool head, brakes where he needs to, keeps that 48 car in front for now. That gap still 0.4 of a second, 14 minutes and a half to go. This battle is going to keep on going. Those guys setting almost dead even lap times the last time out. Fanara now even closer to Tippy Boss. Are we going to see a send here into turn 1? He shows himself on the inside. He won't go for it from back here though, I don't expect. Nope, Fanara stays behind for now. Junior still trying to close up that gap. It still sits at 0.4 at the moment. .4 of a second, still the gap here. Not able to make anything happen at the moment is the number 10 machine of Junior. .6 is now the gap. Junior just struggling to keep up that little bit more now. 0.7 is the gap. Last time out, 0.5 gained by Jones over Junior that last time out. Hayden is still falling down behind Mari, I don't know. But that P10 is looking less and less likely with just under 13 minutes to go. Hayden needs to make 6.4 seconds. That's going to be almost a second a minute. No, half a second a minute. That would be quite impressive pace, seeing that this is almost a 2-minute lap. He'd need to be making about a second and a half every lap if he wanted to make that move happen. I don't believe he's going to be able to. The gap at the front, 8.3 seconds as Bray continues to climb up and up and up. He is just moving on with this race at the moment. He wasn't the fastest man on track last time out, but he has been consistently faster than the guys behind him, and that is why he currently sits on that P1 position. It's been a brilliant race for him. He hasn't been challenged from behind at many points. There's not been in terms of like an overtaking challenge. There's been a few moments where Jones was close, but at no point has Jones managed to make that move at all. which is slightly disappointing. I think it would have been nice to see a slightly larger battle for P1, as this P2 battle is starting to fizz out a little bit as well. Over a second now to Junior. Jones has that gap. Fanaro managed to get past. Tippy Boss looking further up now. The number 55 car of Piva is looking to get past the 555 car of Kuhn. Down towards turn 1 this time it could happen. I think he's had the better run off the bank. Indeed, he has a little tap there between the fifth. Oh, and he turns him. Oh, he just completely turned him on purpose. Look at this. A little tap there, and then he just... Oh, I don't know. Was there possibly a little bit of netcode in that? Junior now closing back up to Jones. Wait until it gets back to the live bit again. There we go. Now with 50 minutes gone in this race, the 555 car has managed to get moving again. Down in last now is the 555 car after having been running P14 for a lot of this race. That's going to be really disappointing for him. But that was a massive incident there. Almost looked purposeful. I don't think it was. But coming down now into the last 10 minutes, the gap is 0.3 of a second between second and third on track. The Bentley number 48 machine driven by Jones and the number 10 Ferrari being driven by Junior. It's going to be interesting to see who ends up coming out on top in this one. That Bentley Continental GT3 still holding up really, really well. Netcode or braking from front car. Yeah, I thought it looked a little bit netcodey. I wasn't entirely sure though, as we've got more yellow flags. The 555 car has gone off and just gone back to pits. Yeah, just gone straight on and just headed back to pits. Oh, the gap between Junior and Jones is just 0.3 of a second. Wait for it to go back to the live broadcast. Come on, do that, please. I'd like to see this battle. There we go. 0.5 of a second, 0.4 of a second, 0.3 of a second. This is incredibly close. Just 9 minutes to go. That's going to be, what, a 1 minute 40 laps. So you're looking at 7 laps, I think. Yellow flags again. The number 74 car has gone around. Oh, almost rejoins in front of these two fighting. That would have been catastrophic. Thankfully doesn't. The number 10 car almost going deep on the brakes, does go deep on the brakes, almost connects the number 48 of Jones, but manages to avoid him very, very nicely, I must admit. Here we go now, coming round on to the start-finish straight once again. The leader has an 8-second buffer as it stands, but we'll wait and see how many more laps are we going to get out of this race. So at the end of this lap, the 888 car crossed the line with what, about 8 minutes 40 left, so, and we've got a 1 minute and 40 second lap, which means that the overall lap time is 1 minute 37 lap time, so it's 97 seconds. So I think we've got about 5 laps left to go. 5 laps to go, I believe. I'll double check my maths when the 888 car crosses the line this time. But this is a real battle going on now, and there's a battle further down as well. Vena, I think I said it probably sounded... Whoa! Jones yellow flagged there. The yellow flag came up for Jones. I don't know what happened. He's lost a second. Something happened there. I'm not sure what it was. No, it doesn't look like it's going to play ball with me here, disappointingly. The gap is 7 tenths. Once we go back to the live, there it is. Gap is 8 tenths. Vina also in a battle for P8 with Silverio towards the final few minutes of this race. Okay, so the 888 car crossed the line with pretty much exactly 7 minutes to go. In fact, bang on 7 minutes to go. He's been running, yeah, about a 97-second lap. Yeah, so we're going to have, I believe we're going to get another 4, possibly 5 laps out of this before the end of this race. Let's have a look. Now, further down the order, Junior still 3 tenths off the back of Jones, but I don't think there's anything more going there at the moment. Oh, and Junior gets past. Jones makes a mistake. Deep under braking. Jones just plows through that chicane at the end of the lap. He's done so flawlessly in defence so far. He now needs to try and go on the attack in these final 5 minutes and 18 seconds. I don't know if he's going to be able to. Let's have a little look back at that. Oh, I didn't go far enough back. Well, so much for that. We're not going to be able to get another look at that, unfortunately. But the gap is only 4 tenths of a second, so Jones could come back from this yet. And we've got some more battles going on. Drager is closing up on the back of Hayden for P11. And Vina is still there. Oh, O'Sullivan. Oh, there's contact. O'Sullivan gets hit by... Is that the 74 of Meekin? I think it is. Let's have a look at what's happened here. These guys shouldn't be fighting. Meekin's a lap down. No way has Meekin just ploughed into that first corner and taken him out. I think he has, though. Yeah, Meekin's just braked way too late and taken him out. Can't believe that. That is gutting for O'Sullivan. He's still going to come home P5 overall. And I think that's probably going to be another penalty being doled out before the end of this race for the number 74 machine of Meekin, currently sat down in 13th position. Looking at the order, Jones is outside of that seconds gap with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Vina still looking for a way past Silverio. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get anything done. Coming towards the final 3 minutes now of this race. If you are here, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me tonight here in TOGA, here at Indianapolis. Not personally one of my favourite tracks, but you know, it is what it is. Just because I don't like to drive it doesn't mean other people don't like to drive it. Drager now right on the back of Hayden in the number 29 BMW. Hayden struggling a little bit now. The gap is 5 tenths between Vina and Silverio. The gap is 5 tenths also between Hayden and Drager for P11. One of these positions could mean a lot for these drivers. Collision between car number 55 and car 555 to be reviewed after the race. That was the move on the pit straight. Here we go, the gap is now 3 tenths of a second between Drager and Hayden. Oh, and Silverio... Vina gets past Silverio. I'm not sure how that's happened. Has Silverio made a mistake? Yes, he has. He's gone very deep. Got into the grass, and Vina's gone past. Looking back to Drager and Hayden now, that gap 0.4 of a second as it stands, 0.3 of a second as it stands, 0.2 of a second. Jones is back within a second of Junior as well. This is all going to come down to the final lap. We are going to get one more lap after this one, ladies and gentlemen. The gap is 0.5 now. Hayden just has a couple of car lengths back to Drager. Drager sitting in that slipstream, gaining as much as he can. And Drager is not as fast through this section of the track, but he is faster coming out of there and towards the line. So he loses out quite a lot through the end of that middle sector, and they've got to watch out because they have got the number 888 McLaren just behind them. And if they get shown those blue flags, well, they definitely don't want to hit the 888 McLaren because he is the leader. But he is literally just behind them, a couple of seconds, not even that. Yeah, leader is now on the final lap, so this is the final lap if anyone wants to get anything done. So when Drager crosses the line, does Drager have another lap? No, because they'll get the checkered flag at 0 seconds. So this is it. If Drager wants to make a move, he's got to do it now. Same for Jones. Jones has got to get a move done on this final lap if he wants to do something. The gap is 0.7 of a second. Jones looking to take home that P2 spot, which he sat in for most of the race, but a couple of little mistakes have led him to lose out to Junior so far. Highly disappointing for him, because I'm sure he does not want to have missed out on that P2 spot as it stands. Currently sits in P3, the gap is 0.8 of a second. I don't see much changing here unless Junior messes up. Same here with Hayden and Drager. Car 15 gets a 15-second penalty for causing a collision with car number 14. That's wrong. 15-second penalty for car 74 for causing a collision with car number 14. Sorry. Here we go. Jones about a second back. Only these final 2 corners to go. I don't think he's going to be able to get anything done. But more importantly, looking just a little bit up the road. Yeah, no, he's gone far too deep. That's going to be the end of Jones's run, I think. But here we go. Bray is going to cross the line in that 888 McLaren. Crosses the line to win here in Indianapolis in the second round of the September Showdown. Or third, maybe. I think we might be on the third, mightn't we? No, it is round 2. I was right. Junior crosses the line in the number 10 Ferrari to come home third, with Jones just 0.3 back in the end in that Bentley. A brilliant drive from him in what is not one of the faster cars in this game. The 911 Aston Martin Vantage GT3 comes home in the hands of Potter in P4. An unfortunate race for him. He had a little bit of some contact at the start, I believe, which was unlucky for him. O'Sullivan had a little bit of contact as well. In fact, he had a couple of little bits of contact across the whole of the race. Oh, and goes headfirst into the barrier after that. Gabriel in the number 98 BMW comes home in P6, with Fernando is going to be coming home in P7. However, he does have... No, he doesn't have penalties. And Drager still has an opportunity here with Hayden, as Fernando finishes. Vina is going to finish as well ahead of Silverio. And there's all sorts going on here with penalties, as Drager does get past Hayden. Drager gets past Hayden. I think Hayden made a mistake coming into the final chicane, or was it a bump and run? No, Hayden broke too late. He thought he saw a move, a desperate move coming from Drager in the number 81. I mean, yeah, Drager played that really well, I've got to admit. So, Your finishing order is Bray in P1, Junior in P2, Jones in P3 to round out your podium, then Potter, O'Sullivan, Garrel, Fernando, Vina, Silverio and Mari, with Drager making that final lap overtake on Hayden to come home in P11 and 12 respectively. Then Meekan from the back comes up to P13, but he did have a 15-second penalty. Then Fanara, Tippy Boss and Peaver. Then we've got Brooken in 17th with Hurst in the 570 AMG coming home 18th. 19th is then Kuhn. And then further down the order, I can't see. Wonderful. Here we go. Further down the order, Kuhn, then Parks, and then Donkervolk is the final order, rounding out everyone that we have. I'm going to wait and see if anyone wants to come for an interview.
Hello.
Oh God, he's here. That scared the living Jesus out of me. God,
I'm
you've got
so
to not
sorry.
do that, man. Damn. You
I'm
literally
sorry.
joined and then like a
I'm so
second
sorry.
later you were like, hello! God, that scared me so bad. I mean, that was a pretty mental race overall. Quite a lot of contact up and down the field, which isn't ideal. Lots of penalties getting handed out overall. Not what we would have wanted at all, but you know, it was in the end it was a solid race for you. You know, it didn't go exactly how you would have wanted, but still coming home P11, or was it P12 in the end? It was P12 in the end, wasn't it?
No, that was P12. I lost it on the last bit, on the last corner. I basically went went straight on, and the Lamborghini just dived up the inside. So that was me done basically. Yeah, I was frustrated, but it was actually really cool. I really enjoyed it. I didn't see anything going on in front of me. I think I had a really clean race in terms of no incidents in and around me. But yeah, no, it was really good. So yeah, I'm much better than last night. I'm in a much better mental state than I was yesterday, because that destroyed me yesterday. I went to bed kicking myself. But yeah, no, it was really good. It was really good. I don't want to be about me. There's a couple of guys up in the commentary box, interview room, waiting, so I'll let that guys jump in. But I just want to say thank you for doing the commentary tonight. I had it on in the background again, and it was insane. So thanks very much, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem. Well, everyone, that was Hayden. I hope you luck. When are you next racing? What's your next event?
Oh, I don't know now. I think Friday, Backwards Championship
Backwards
again.
Yeah, absolutely. I should be there this week as well to commentate on that
Awesome.
one as well. So I will see you then. Good
Awesome.
luck with that.
Right, there's 3 people now. There's 3 people in a bit.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna get them in now. Don't worry about it. Right, first in, we've got O'Sullivan, who came home in P5 at the end of everything. A race with a couple of big hurdles for you, a couple of hairy moments with some contact with other drivers. How did that go overall for you?
It was good. I mean, I was ashamed at the start. Really, I felt that was a bit of an unnecessary move. Knocked me down to, I can't remember what position I was in, P18, but really happy with the pace. Coming back through the field, really happy with that. Catching down Graham, and then on like a few minutes to go, I can't remember how many minutes again. I had the other Porsche, number 74 Porsche.
Number 74.
I think he forgot where he's. Yeah, I think he forgot that he had a brake pedal in his car, unfortunately. But P5, I'll still take that, considering I started 6th.
Yeah.
It's one of those where it could have been a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, was it disappointing? I think qualifying, it looked early on like you were going to be fighting right at the front in that qualifying session, but the guys behind you really put in some stellar lap times, and pretty much nobody improved at the end of the session. It was weird to watch. Very little improvement at the end of the session. Had the track just gone away from you a little bit, or had you already pulled all you could out of the car?
I've got to be honest with me. Last 2 flying laps, I was 2 tenths up, so I was on for pole. I just made silly mistakes going into one was in sector 2, coming out of the right hander before the back straight, and then another one was the following corner after that, the following lap. So yeah, could have been a lot more. Could have been. I was hoping pole might have just sneaked it, if not front row. But got to take the positives from it. Still finished top 5. Got a lot of pace in the car.
Yeah, and at the end of the day,
next one, really.
at the end of the day, it's strong points. You know, coming home P5 is no bad thing at all, especially at a track that is quite so challenging as Indy, with these kind of random braking zones that appear out of nowhere.
yeah. But I do actually. It's probably one of my favourite tracks, to be honest with you. I always seem to go well here, and yeah, it was enjoyable. Tiring, hot, but enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm assuming is your next race back here in the September Showdown next weekend?
Yes. I'll be here for Barcelona.
Yeah.
Be here for the next one.
Wonderful,
Definitely.
that's good to hear. Well, I hope to see you next time out. I'll be back in the comms box again, hopefully with a little bit less car-on-car contact this time throughout the race.
Yeah, hopefully a little bit of a cleaner race, but I'm looking forward to it. Go for the podium. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's good to hear. Have a good rest of your night, and thank you so much for joining me in the comms box.
Cheers,
Thanks
thank
a
you.
lot. Have a good one. Right then, I believe that's actually all we're going to have in terms of interviews at the moment. I'm not too sure. Everyone that was sat in the interview waiting room has since disconnected, which is slightly disappointing, but oh well. I'm just going to wait and see if Junior is going to hop in for an interview. He was sat in the waiting room, but did leave. So I'm going to wait and see if he turns up to do an interview. Yeah, here we go. We're going to have him coming in just a couple of seconds. Here we go. So, Junior now joining me in the comms box. Unfortunately, I don't know your first name, mate. So I've just been calling you by your last name the whole race. But a brilliant race for you. A really long battle with the number 48 car of Jones there, the Bentley. I mean, you guys were in the thick of it pretty much the whole race. I don't think there were many laps where you guys weren't within a second of each other throughout the length of the race overall. So that must have been really exciting for you.
Yep, it was awesome. The Bentley is so quick down the streets. I didn't expect it to be that quick off the line, and then it was a bit too late to defend the position, and we let him through. And yeah, so then it was about just trying to, keep with the pace with the guys. I saw he was losing the rear tires a bit midway through the stint, so it's just about being patient. But yeah, very intense and very clean racing, I must say. Yeah, we went side by side quite a few times. And yeah, no, and Junior is perfectly fine. My first name is Dave. But definitely great stuff out there. Ferrari doesn't seem to be the best at this track. I don't know with the turbo lag or so and the slow speed corners, but we made the best of it. Definitely can't complain with P2.
Yeah, absolutely. And looping back to the start, I was going to ask you about that. That Bentley got massive launch off of the line. Just timed the green flag perfectly, and just stormed down the outside towards turn 1. I don't think anyone saw that coming. It caught me by surprise in the comms box. Was that you said it was a surprise for you? But I mean, the pace on that Bentley around Indy was quite impressive, seeing that it's renowned for being a boat, and there's a lot of slow speed corners here.
Right. No, it was mega down the straight and out of some of the slow speed corners, but it seems like it was having issues keeping the tires alive for the whole stint. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was towards those closing phases of the stint where you made the overtake both times. Partially because of mistakes from the Bentley driver, but also you were able to keep really close because of that degradation that the Bentley saw. Do you think maybe without that you would have had more difficulty overtaking?
Absolutely, absolutely. Without the deck, it would have been almost impossible. It was such a rocket down the streets, and there's such a maybe two s- or two or three spaces, maybe max here. You can truly pull off an overtake, and yeah. So you need a really good run out of these corners. Some I know a car with some really good traction out of the low speed corners, and yeah, that Bentley was, and kudos to the driver. It's not easy driving a car like that. You have to really have some, really be a keen to the car and its characteristics. So, but yeah, definitely tough one. We'll see next race if it could keep that
Yeah,
pace.
absolutely. Moving on, next weekend we are in Barcelona. Is that one of your preferred tracks? Maybe one that you don't like so much in these GT cars?
It's not my preferred track, really, honestly, I must say, but it tends to be a Ferrari track, so uh, looking forward to getting out there and see what we can do. Hopefully, fight for the top spot this time, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, a massive congratulations. P2 is very impressive, especially after all of that fighting. You had a really, really clean race. It was really exciting to watch, especially for my first time doing a full race commentary. So thank you for that, and I hope you the best moving into Barcelona. I hope that we can see you maybe just one step further up the podium next time out.
Yep, for sure. Thank you so much for having us. Great race. Definitely looking forward to the
Yeah,
next one.
thanks a lot. Have a good rest of your evening, mate. See you in a bit.
All right, buddy. You too.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be everything from me tonight. Thank you all for coming along, and thank you all for listening to these driver interviews. I know sometimes they're not the most exciting things, but I do quite like finding out how the drivers are feeling after the end of a race. Thank you, Rob. Awesome commentary on this. Thank you so much. It's always great to hear that you're enjoying it. But ladies and gentlemen, make sure before you go to give that like button a massive hit and to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll be back the same time next week for another round of the September Showdown. As you've heard, we're moving to Barcelona, the sunny Catalonia. It's going to be a crazy race, I'm sure. But before that, we've got another week's racing action coming your way. This time next Friday, we're going to have the Backwards Championship, followed by Saturday, we've got the Lamborghini Rally. And of course, don't forget about Rookie Wednesday, our most popular series by far, happening on a Wednesday night here on the TOGA channel as well. Make sure to tune in to all of that brilliant racing next week, and I will see you here again on Sunday night for round 3 of the September Showdown. My name's been Ollie. You've been here on the TOGA Motorsport channel. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your evening.